Good morning. I'm just waiting for some people to jump in here real quick. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Letting some people in the room. Good morning, Kim.
Did you catch me? I said good morning, but
Good
I've
morning.
never done this car before.
It's okay. I got you now. I hear you. I just had like 7 people text me. I'm sorry. I was on a call with an agent and she was telling me her whole life story and I was like, okay, I gotta go. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have people waiting on me. We are getting there. All right, we are talking today, and I'll just let some more people as they climb in. We're talking today about crafting the referral conversation. And so it's really, I want to talk about why referrals are important, when's the right time to ask for a referral. I want to give you some language in crafting the conversation, like what do you actually say? How do you ask for it? And then I want to teach you, like, again, how to implement a system for referrals, meaning how do you want to receive the referral? How are you educating people? How do you thank people that refer you business? And what that looks like. So, real quick, so let's talk about why referrals are important, first of all. And you'll meet a lot of agents along the way that will say, oh, I've been referral only for 10 years, or I only worked with referrals. And that is fantastic and wonderful as long as your sphere and your group can continue to give you referrals, right? As long as you're continuing to receive enough referrals to grow your business the way you want it to. But the healthy balance of referrals and non is I like about a 75% referral and 25% new people, because that allows me just to continue to grow my business, allows me to continually add new people to my database. And then 75% referral only is nice. I don't have to hunt as much. I don't have to chase down as many people. I don't have to go out and meet as many people in order to make the same kind of money that I want to make. And so I think it's a good, healthy balance to have 75-25. I personally don't think 100% referral is a good, solid business practice for growing your business. But you know, you do you and do whatever works for you. But I personally like 75-25. So let's talk about why referrals are super important. So first of all, you want someone referring people to you, like, hey, my cousin's looking to buy a house, or I just hired a new guy on my into my firm, and I would love for you to help him out. Like, you know, that makes it easier for us. We don't have to market and promote ourselves to strangers. You know, strangers are 8 times harder to convert than someone you know or someone that you've been a warm introduction to. And so for me, first of all, referrals build trust and confidence. They also build trust and credibility. So someone trusts you more just by giving your name or getting your name from someone that they know and trust. Their guard is a little bit down. They don't have to work so hard. Hold on, Bryson's asking me for the link. Um, Goodness. So trust and credibility, higher conversion rates. Like obviously they're 8 times easier, you know, to convert than the knots. So that helps. And then, you know, establishing long-term client relationships is easier. You know, you're going to have better relationships if you take great care of their people, right? So if someone refers you someone and you really roll out the red carpet to show them why you're so amazing and wonderful, you know, that's going to help too with you building those long lasting relationships and people who buy with you over the years, that buy, you know, multiple times or send multiple people. Hi, Bryson. Good morning. So, and then the other part is repeat business. Like I was saying, like, again, I have clients in Nashville, I've been there for 14 or 15 years. And I have clients who've bought four
What
or five,
happened?
six houses from me. Um, so I mean, having repeat clients is also really, a great part of your business that you get to work with people multiple times, especially if you like them. Repeat clients aren't fun if you don't enjoy working with them, of course. But if you like the people, it's probably good to see them again and to, be a part of their journey and their milestones along their life is actually very rewarding. I've always wanted to be the agent that, got invited to the baby showers, the weddings, the, graduation parties, even the funerals, unfortunately. But I wanted to be a part of the family's lives. I was more than just the realtor, right? Remember, you have to think of yourself as the town mayor, the community connector. Like you were trying to build deep relationships with people where you're part of their milestones in their life throughout the course of their life. So when they have babies, when they get engaged, when they get married, when someone passes away, when their dog passes away, when they get new jobs, when they graduate from college, you want to be part of all of these milestones. You don't want to just be the person that sold us our house. You want to be the go-to person that's always in their life, that you are constantly referring people to them that hey, I know this perfect, painter. I know this great landscaper, but I also know, a florist. I also know, a doula or whatever it is. You should have those connections to provide to people, and your connections and your book of business of people that is what are going to keep people coming back to you, and why people are going to keep calling you to ask you for a referral for a business, because they trust that you know all the right people, that you trust good people that do good work, they trust that you've already vetted people, right? They don't have to do all of that research and that work. So that definitely helps with getting repeat business. So let's talk about when to ask for a referral. I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to let you unmute yourselves to answer the question. When do you ask for a referral? Like, when do you think is the best time to ask for? There's only 3 of you, so don't all talk at once, okay?
At or after the closing table?
Well, a lot of people do ask for it at closing or after the closing, and I'm going to talk to you about why that's not my strategy, but I'll in just a second. But that's a good answer, Bryson. Kim, when do you ask for referrals?
I guess probably when they've just gone under contract.
Yeah. So yes, that is what my advice is right when they go under contract. So I want you to think about from start to finish when you're working with a client, whether it's a buyer or a seller, so many things can go wrong from the time you meet them until closing or even after closing. Where are they at the height of their excitement? Where are they at the height of their happiness with your service? And it's typically right when they go under contract because they found the house, right? Or you as a listing agent got the house under contract. So that is my favorite time to ask for a referral, because typically that is when people are the most happy with your services. That's when they're very pleased with where things are headed, and you haven't had a lot of time for things to get messed up yet. And remember, as agents, we are still responsible for a lot of things that are not even in our control. Things the lender does, things the title company does, things the attorney does, the inspector finds. All kinds of things go wrong or could go wrong in this process. And what you want to do is get really good about asking for referrals when your client's the happiest, right? Before they've had a chance for things to go badly, right? So there's actually, 4 opportunities for you to ask for a referral, and you really should be asking for a referral at all 4 of these stages. But you're just going to craft the words in a different way each time. So at the beginning of the meeting, when you first sit down to do your buyer consultation or even your listing presentation with someone, you should be saying things like, my business is run on 75% of it is run on referrals from people that I've met, referrals from people that I've done presentations for. If you know of anybody else, typically what happens I always say to the buyer side, as we go through this process, your friends and family are going to ask you questions about how the house hunting is going, or you're going to be excited talking about the houses you looked at and things like that. And a lot of times that sparks interest in other people, and they may ask, they may also be interested in buying too. I would love to also earn their business. I would also love to earn the opportunity to work with your friends and your family. So if you think that I could help them like I'm helping you, here's how I would love for you to connect me. So we're going to get back to that part in a second, but I want you to hang on to that phrase. Here's how you can connect me so that I can help them too. Because I want you to focus on training and educating people how to refer people to you. So we'll get to that in a minute. So at the beginning of the process, when you're first meeting with them, you can certainly say, hey, people are going to notice there's a sign in your yard. They might ask you, who your realtor is, or you might be talking with your coworkers about how you're selling your house. I would love the opportunity to help anybody you work with or anybody that you know. If you think that I could also help them, I would love for you to connect me. So at the beginning, when they first go under contract is number 2. That's when I typically would ask, hey, congratulations, we're under contract. This is a super exciting time. And I know that I'm so glad that you've had a positive experience with me thus far. And if you think I've done a great job for you so far, would you be so kind as to think of, would you be so kind to give my name or to anybody else that you think might be, that I could also help, or that might be also in the market to buy? I definitely ask at closing. So, when the closing happens, the next question is usually like, okay, well, who else in your life, now that you've bought a house, who else in your life has been talking about buying a house recently? Right? Don't ask who do you know. That's something that old school people used to teach, is who do you know that might want to buy or sell a house? I've never ever in 25 years ever had anyone answer that question with a referral. So I normally phrase it in a different way, which is, hey, I know you've been talking, maybe, just in the excitement of what we've been doing, you've talked to some people about your home buying process. Has anyone else mentioned that they're also looking to buy or sell in the next 3 or 6 months or month, or you put up the time frame that you want, but has anybody else mentioned to you that they're interested in buying or selling a house? So I would typically ask at closing. And then, of course, in your follow-up post-closing, you always want to say, hey, how is everything going? I'm glad to see that you got all moved in. I love the wallpaper you picked, or the new paint colors you painted, something like that. Is there anyone in your life that I could help? Or is there someone else that I can help? Is there maybe a neighbor or friend or family member or coworker? Sometimes you have to suggest to them who in their life might be looking for a house. You might have to ask them, hey, are there any coworkers that you've talked to recently that have indicated that they might also want to sell? Is there anyone else that's being transferred? Because maybe I'm dealing with a seller that's being transferred out of state. Is there anyone else that is also being transferred? Or is there anyone incoming to replace you that I might be able to help? You cannot be afraid to ask people about what's happening in their life. For example, like again, if my seller says, oh, I'm being transferred to Texas, for my job, my next question is, that's wonderful. Are they transferring anybody else out of your department? Or is there anybody else in your office being transferred? Is there someone coming in to replace you? Right? So asking those kinds of questions might lead you to a referral that you didn't think to ask about, or that they didn't think to refer you to because they weren't thinking about that person. They were thinking about their own situation. Oh my God, I have to move my whole family across the country in 4 weeks. I'm not thinking about the guy who's coming to replace me, right? But my question might have prompted him to think about that, right? Or is there someone in your company that I can connect with? Hey, we had such a great experience together. You've been really happy with my service thus far, right? Is there anybody in your company that I might be able to talk to so that I can maybe work with some other coworkers of yours? Is there someone in your office that I might be able to come provide lunch one day and talk about my services? Try to get your foot in the door with people, but we're too afraid to ask for a referral because we're afraid the person's going to say, well, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to involve my friends. I don't want you harassing my family members or whatever it is. But if you truly rolled out the red carpet and you gave your people an exceptional service, if you really helped them navigate this process in a way that makes you a rock star, you're going to earn their referrals naturally. You're not going to have to ask so much for it. And you're also not going to have to work. You're not going to have to fight the worry conversation that they're worried you might harass their people because you've never harassed them. That's not how you behaved, right? So what you're going to do is demonstrate for them how you're going to treat their friends and family, and you're going to roll out the red carpet and really impress them. Why wouldn't they want their friends and family to get that same level of service? Why would they want their friend or family to risk hiring an agent who's not experienced or doesn't return phone calls or really doesn't even understand what the contract says, doesn't have enough experience to help them navigate selling their house? You want their friends and family to work with somebody who's really good and produces results. So you want to craft your conversation around, don't your friends and family deserve the same kind of service you got? Does that make sense? So either at the beginning of the conversation, right when they're the happiest that they've ever been, at closing, or post closing. You got 4 opportunities to ask for a referral with every client. So most of us are not asking for a referral at any of those 4 times. We're just hoping that people send us referrals, right? Well, you know what a hope and a prayer does not fill your bank account. Okay. So let's talk about crafting the conversation. So some of the words that I choose, and like I said, a lot of times what I say is, I'm so glad you've had such a positive experience. A lot of times people that I work with have had a bad experience with an agent in the past, right? Maybe they have called 4 other agents before they ever talked to me, or maybe they actually worked with another agent that it just didn't work out, or they've sold their house before and that was not a good experience. And so I'm constantly highlighting and reminding, like, I'm really glad that we've worked so well together. I'm really glad that you've enjoyed working with me. I'm really thankful that Jim referred us to work together. And what would you say? How would you say that your experience has been? If you had to rate that on a 1 to 5, how would you say that's been? I also start the conversation with the client. How do I earn a 5-star review from you? I'm asking that client right up front on my very first meeting with them, how do I earn a 5-star review from you? Because I'm going to listen for what they're looking for, what their concerns are. How do I get a win with you? And if you ask that question and listen to their answer, you can supersede their expectations. You can overproduce and make sure that you have rolled out the red carpet and given them an experience that's unforgettable, that of course they're going to want to tell people about. They want to talk to their friends about. So often it is reminding them that, hey, I've really enjoyed working with you. I wish I had 10 of you. Who else do you know that's just like you, that's really laid back, that respects my opinion, that, is easy to work with? Those are the kind of people I want to work with. So that's the other part of it. The closer you get to your clients, the more you know about them, the more comfortable you are with them, the more you can let down your sales guard, is what I call it. Like, you've always got this guard around you that makes you feel like a salesperson. But the more that they feel like friends, the more they feel like, we're a community, like we have some kind of connection and you're not just a client, the more that you're going to learn about their personalities and their quirks. You're going to learn about their family. They're going to learn about what their likes and dislikes are. And you're going to also let them know what you don't want, who I don't want to work with. Hey, you've talked a lot about this girl at work that you work with. I don't know that I could handle her. I don't know that she would be my ideal client. If you know that, don't be afraid to tell people, hey, I want to work with people like you. I want to work with people that I get along with, that we have fun with, that I connect with. The other part of referral asking, I believe, is really getting good at explaining to people who you like working with. Who do you want to work with? Remember, if you've done any coaching with me for any period of time, you have already defined who your target client is. You've already kind of written a description of who you want to work with. So you've got descriptors, you've got adjectives that describe to people what it is who you're seeking. Who do you like working with? And then your job is to plant the seeds with the other people to say, hey, this is who I like working with. This is who I'm looking for. And training your people in your life, your clients, to look for these same people. So get good at describing who is the perfect referral to send to you. Who is the type of person that you want to be referred, right? Who is that? What does that client look like? So for example, if I don't serve a particular city, I would be sure to tell my people, hey, I work with just about everybody, but that's not an area that I go to. I personally would never say that because I would refer that to somebody else and I would still take that referral from my friend. But you want to get good at describing to these people who it is you're looking for, who you like to work with, and making sure that they understand how you can help those people and what you specialize in or what your niche is. I also like personalizing the ask to each client's experience. So for example, maybe I helped a first time home buyer buy a house. I would personally ask when I'm asking for that referral from them and say, you know, I would imagine that a lot of your circle, your social circle is probably in the same, age bracket or same, maybe, you have a great group of friends. Are any of them looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days or 60 days or something like that? But and there's also a way that you can personalize that experience and say, hey, we you came to me with this goal in mind. This is how I solved it. This is how we worked through it together. Um, would you be so kind as to, talk to somebody about what your experience has been like, right? The testimonials are a great way to get referrals, but you also want to make sure it's personalized, like telling the story specifically of how you helped these people and what your role in that was. I love business to business referrals because those have always been a great support to my business as well. Hey, we've had great success working together. You've been my trusted accountant for 20 years. I've sent you a lot of clients in the past. I would really love the opportunity to work with some of your clients, right? We've had a great opportunity to work together, great success. How could we mutually how could we find a mutual benefit for the two of us to work together in the future? What ways does that look like, right? These are other ways that I ask for referrals, like, hey, I have, my fence guy. I have given his name and number. I probably paid his mortgage for 5 years because I sent him so many fences to build. Just because I kept having people that needed fences. So I just kept this guy in business. And so, of course, one day we had a conversation and I just said, I've sent you 38 people and I track my referrals. Like who do I send referrals to? I sent you 38 people in the last month alone, right? So reminding people that you're also in the business to business side, reminding people that, hey, I have sent you quite a lot of business. What opportunities do you have that you might not even realize it to refer some people to me that might be looking to buy or sell, right? Is there a way that we can mutually refer people to each other? So one of the other things I want to talk about is how do you actually acknowledge the referral, right? So I want you to, number one, get good about describing who it is you want to work with. So here, if you're looking to refer business to me, this is what I want you to know about who my target client is. So you need to educate them about who you work with, what your specialty is, or what makes you different. Then I want you to educate people about how to send you a referral. How do you want to receive the referral? Do you want it as an email? Do you want a group text? Do you want a Facebook Messenger? Do you want them to send the contact to you? Do you want them to send your one sheet to everybody that they know? Like, you are responsible for teaching people how to refer people to you. So in those 4 opportunities that you have to ask for a referral, some of the things that you might say would be, hey, the next time you come across somebody who is interested in potentially buying a house, don't just give them my card. Here is a here's my flyer, here's a digital PDF I want you to save to your phone, or here's a picture I want you to save to your album on your phone and heart it and favorite it so you can find it quickly. When you see somebody that's looking to buy a house, I would love for you to share that with them. Or I would love for you to start a group text and just do a warm introduction for us, and I'll take it from there. Or do you want them to just give their contact information to you and let you run with it? How do you want to receive the referral? It's your responsibility to teach people how to provide those referrals. If you don't, what's going to happen is people are just going to hand your card out. Well, handing my card out is very passive. I'm going to die before that person calls me, right? I want to take control of it. And I also want access to the person's contact information so that I can follow up with them, so that I can stay in touch with them. So how do you want people to refer people to you? Think about what you want that process to look like. Then I want you to think about how you're going to thank people. I always coach everybody to publicly thank referrals. So on your social media, you say, thank you so much to Emily West for referring John Smith to me as a new buyer in Tennessee. I cannot wait to work with him, and thank you so much for trusting me with your friends and family. So I'm publicly acknowledging this person that sent a referral to me. What that does is, number one, it makes the person who referred someone to you feel good because you acknowledged it, right? But number two, you're also teaching people that they can refer business to you, right? I love it even more when you send gifts and you ask the person who referred you to tag you, because then you're showing, oh, well, if I send her a referral, she'll send me a gift too, right? That's not the incentive. That's not the point. But the point is that are you publicly acknowledging the referral? Are you teaching people that you like referrals? And anytime you publicly acknowledge a referral, you are showing people that, hey, if you refer somebody to me, the first step of my process is thanking you for the referral and acknowledging that publicly, giving you
Hi,
gratitude,
how
right?
are you? Good, thank you.
Sorry. So, and then the other thing I always say, publicly praise the referral, but privately thank them. So publicly let people know you got a referral from somebody and how thankful you are and grateful you are for it. But then privately send them a handwritten thank you note, send a gift, whatever it is, treat them to something. Someone who refers business to me, I want to make a big deal out of it, right? This is not just a thank you note. This is my business does not survive without people like you referring people. And thank you for trusting me with your friends and family. Thank you for trusting me with your mom. Thank you for trusting me with your boss or your coworker or whatever that is. But I'm always going to publicly thank them and praise them. And then I'm going to privately thank them with a gift, a handwritten note, or something like that. The last part that I have for you guys today is like some common objections that you get when you ask for referrals. So a lot of times if I ask for a referral, the first objection I get sometimes is, well, I don't really know anybody. I'm new here. I don't really know anybody, right? And so I will always respond with that and just say, you are new right now. As you're moving into your house, you're going to see a lot of excitement and buzz around a new neighbor or coworkers finding out you just bought a new home, or give them examples that they might run into situations where they might have an opportunity to refer you. So obviously, as you're unpacking, and you give away any of your boxes, anybody who comes to pick them up might be looking to buy or sell a house. Like, give them some suggestions of people that might be asking them for a referral. But you'll get that one a lot, which is I don't really know people. I don't really know anyone, or I don't know anyone right now that's looking to buy or sell. So my response to that usually is, well, would you mind if I follow back up with you in a few months and see if that changes? Would you mind if I check back in with you from time to time to see if I can earn any referrals that you might know? And typically they don't mind. So that's a very common one, is just, I don't know anybody right now. The other one that I get sometimes is, well, I don't really want to give you their contact information because they might not like that. And so I will always remind them, when I got your contact information, did I harass you? Did I blow you up? Did I, try to sell you anything? That's just not how I operate. So I know that the answer is no. But I tend to just remind them, listen, I'm going to treat anybody you send me exactly how I treated you, if not better, right? Because that is my goal, to constantly improve my service. And so I will always say to them, listen, you don't ever have to worry that if you give me someone's name and number that I'm going to blow them up or that I'm going to harass them. I'm always going to act professional, and I'm always going to take good care of your people, just like I did with you. And so that's how I respond typically to those. I'm trying to think if there's any other, how about if I just give them your name and number, and if they're interested, they can call you? And so I don't mind that one either, but I usually turn that one by saying, rather than you just giving them my card, I would really love it if you would just do a warm introduction in a group text for us and let me take it from there. I promise you I will not harass them. I promise you I'll be professional. I promise you that I will take amazing, incredible care, but at least that way I have the ability to follow up with them. And sometimes people just don't think about it. They're like, let me just give your card. And I would rather you explain to people, listen, you can trust people You can trust me with a group text, knowing that I'm not going to harass your person. I'm not going to blow them up or anything like that. So don't let, what I'm trying to get you to focus on is making sure that you're educating people how is the best way to refer people. And if people are just handing your card out, that's a very passive activity that does not give you the power to follow up with anyone, right? We don't want that. We don't want them just to take your card and go die. We want them to take your card and call you, right? I say go die literally, like figuratively. I don't mean it really, Bryson, but I just mean like, we want them to take action, right? We don't want them just to go on about their life. We want them to actually call you. And so I don't want you just to give out my card. I want you to actually do a group text because that's how I prefer to receive the referral. Like just introduce the person to me and just say, hey, Jim, this is my realtor, Laura. I know you're in great hands with her, right? Just that added extra sentence gives people peace of mind that you're the right person, not just, hey, I have somebody I want to refer you to. I want you to think of your referrals. Are you really truly earning people's referrals? And if you roll out the red carpet for people, if you go above and beyond, if you demonstrate your value, if you care about people more than just the sale and your follow-up after the sale is really good, if you're staying in touch with them, if you are loving on their family, if you are dropping by things in their business to earn their coworkers referrals, you're going to earn their business. You're going to earn their referrals. But you have to be present in their lives. You cannot just show up one day and think that you've earned their referrals for life. You must pour into that relationship. And so as a tip of advice, I would just tell you that, you absolutely need to ask people, how do I earn your referrals? What kind of position are you in to refer people to? Are you even in a position to refer people to me? And what does that look like? And then I want you to educate people about who your target client is and how to refer people to you. And then when they refer someone to you, I want you to roll out the red carpet and really impress them. How can I earn a 5-star review from you? How can I earn all your future referrals? We've not worked together before, but I want to demonstrate to you that I'm the agent for you and for your friends and family. I want to earn all of your business. I usually tell people, just like I told you in the beginning, I want to be a part of your family's milestones for however as long as I'm here, right? As long as we know each other. I want to be invited to your graduations. I want to come to your baby showers. I want to come to, the funerals. I want to come to, I want to help you celebrate getting a new puppy and things like that. I want to be a part of your life. I am not just a salesperson. That will be demonstrated through your actions and through your activities, right? And how you foster that relationship and how you maintain and take care of the relationship. Anybody have any questions for me? Comments? Questions?
Unrelated, but where can we find like contracts and things like that?
I'm going to text you that as soon as I hang up this call.
Okay, never mind.
I'm going to call you as soon as we hang up this. Gotcha. Thank you so much. Okay, so just to summarize, I want you to think about why referrals are important in your business, why they're necessary. I want you to think about when you are going to ask for referrals. Is it at the beginning? Is it when they're under contract? Is it at the end? Is it post-closing? Or is it all 4 times? How do you say it? I want you to think about the language that you're using. Ask questions like, how do I earn your referrals in the future? How can we mutually work together? How can we mutually benefit each other? I want all of your friends and family to have the same great experience that they had with me. And then I also want you to teach people how to refer business to you. Once you receive, once you teach people, hey, this is what I would prefer you to do. For example, on Facebook, when somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a realtor in Franklin, you're going to get 697 replies, right? But I want to teach my people that when they see a request like that, don't just tag me. Don't just put my name. Write 2 or 3 sentences about this experience that you've had with me and say why I'm probably the best one that they should call. Or feel free to post this picture that I'm going to send to you that you save in your phone that has my contact information, my digital card, whatever it is. But I want you to teach people how to refer business to you and why it's so important. I want my clients to know that when they just tag me, it gets lost. and 497 other people chime in, and no one ever hears or sees my name or understands what I do. So if you want other people to have the same great service that I gave you, we're going to have to do things a little differently, right? And this is how you can do it. So I want you to teach people how to refer you. And then I want you to publicly praise any referrals you get. I want you to shout it from the rooftops. I want you to tag that person. I want you to gift something to them. I want you to brag on that person. I want you to tell the story about how the person referred somebody to you. I want you to do all that publicly so that you can also teach people how to refer people to you and teach people that this is how your business operates and that they too can refer people to you. And then I want you to publicly thank or privately thank them. Thank them with a handwritten note, thank them with a gift, thank them with personal time, thank them with an event, thank them with whatever you want. But I want you to privately thank them and publicly praise them. And then I want you to get really good at responding with some of the objections that you might get, finding some way to respond in a way that makes people feel comfortable referring their friends and family to you. Don't be afraid to ask people, hey, we worked together 5 years ago. You've never referred me to anybody. Is there something that I could have done differently to earn your referrals? Or is there something I can do in the future to earn any of your future referrals from anybody that you might know, right? And then don't be afraid to ask some tough questions like, are you the only one being transferred? Looking for opportunities for other business from that client. Do you have any other houses to sell? Is a question that a lot of people forget to ask sellers. Sometimes people own multiple properties, right? So don't be afraid to ask hard questions that are not the norm that you might ask, because it might uncover some opportunities that you didn't think about. That is all I have for you today. I think that the referrals is a very important part of your business. You should feel comfortable asking for it. If you gave the level of service that you're proud of, then there's no reason why you should feel uncomfortable asking someone to refer someone else for you to give that same service to, right? So make sure that you are confident in what you do and the value that you bring. Make sure that you know that you are going to give the same level of service. And the only way that you can promise or guarantee that everybody gets the same level of service that is amazing is that you establish systems and processes from onboarding all the way to post-closing that means that everybody gets the same service, the same welcome, the same communication. That happens through systems and processes. That happens with you having a routine. It happens when you take all the same steps every time you take on a client. So just go through and look and identify, are there areas in my service that I can improve? Are there areas where I can actually elevate the level of service that I give? Are there ways that I can roll out the red carpet to really impress people so that of course they're going to want to refer their friends and families to? Sometimes that's through gifting. I know a long time ago, when Yeti coolers were all the thing at a closing, we would give a Yeti cooler as a closing gift and people would say, my realtor never gave me anything. I know who I'm using next time because I want a Yeti cooler. It's just an example of a gift that was impressive that other people wanted to have that as well. So I want you to think, is there anything special that you bring to the table or unique that is going to allow you to attract more referrals? But at the end of the day, I need you to understand what your role is here, and your role is to give exceptional service that earns referrals for a lifetime, that you want to be a part of these people's lives for their whole life, as long as you have a relationship and as long as you're willing to maintain that relationship. I want you to be a part of their baby showers and weddings and funerals and pets and all kinds of graduations and all those things. And the only way you can do that is by building authentic relationships with them and then treating them better than they expected to be treated. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for showing up today. Thanks for being here. Same bat channel, same bat time next week. We will be here. And Bryce and I will get you what you need in just a minute. When I hang up with you, I'll call you and tell you where to go. The rest of you go out and have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. And I hope that this was helpful to you. Have a good day, y'all.